it hurts them. It burns them alive to see something not be exactly the way it was in a comic book.
Yeah, to veer off of the path.
Yes.
Well, I'm Matt.
And I'm Carter.
And welcome to It's Kind of a Gray Area.
Welcome back, folks.
Season 3, Episode 3, I believe.
Yeah, right. We're just going to keep track of the start of every episode.
I'm excited. We're at like 103 episodes.
Yeah, it should be. I think
anyway,
that checks
we're going to stop bringing that up every time. Carter keeps insisting. I apologize.
So today's shade is, and I've been wanting to do this at the start in case new people are joining us. A shade is the topic of the day. We call it a shade because it's a gray area of like, you don't know what the answer is until we decide for you. That's what we do here on IKAGA. Yep. We also slurp very loudly. So if you're into ASMR, then you're at the right place.
How do you guys like this?
Oh, God. I'm not editing this one, if that's in it.
It's probably me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I was just doing that to be annoying. So did I get it? Did I reach it?
Yes, I think so.
Awesome.
So to recap, the shade for today is, should movies be more faithful to source material? This is a topic that is very contentious with a lot of people who are nerds. I'm just going to say it. I consider myself one, so I'm not saying it offensively. Yeah, I think I can use the N-word.
You can use the N-word as long as you are one.
Right.
Yeah. I can't use that word because I don't... Well, no, I'm a nerd too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not as much of a nerd.
Oh, okay.
I
see.
I don't know. Maybe I can just be like, I'm a nerd?
Right. I think the popular term nowadays is geek, which is weird because traditionally a geek was someone who performed at a circus biting off the heads of live chickens. So you decide which one you'd like to be called.
That's a real thing?
Yes. That's what a geek was. That's why...
Nerd, right?
Yeah, there we go.
We're both nerds.
Yeah, but okay, so like especially the most obvious thing I think that probably pops into all of our heads is Marvel movies. Yeah. They are the dominant powerhouse in the movie industry today. Like the highest grossing movie of all time was Endgame or Infinity War.
It was, and yes.
One of them.
I don't know.
They're highly popular, and every single time a movie comes out, there's certain demographics that like these movies.
Yep.
There's certain people who just don't like them. That's fine. But the people who do like them, there are people who don't read the comics, and they're just following along the movies, and they like them. There's people who follow the comics, and they understand that things are going to be different, and they like seeing a different version of what they know and like kind of a new play on that. And then there are the dogmatic purists. It hurts them. It burns them alive to see something not be exactly the way it was in a comic book.
Yeah, to veer off of the path.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so historical stuff. Let's talk about that first.
Okay.
Sometimes history is really boring. Sometimes someone does something really brave and interesting, and then 35 years go by before there are consequences or the next chapter of whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just makes sense to bump that timeline up or to like jump around a little bit. I'm fine with that. Like, if you shouldn't be relying on a fictitious story for your education. Don't go watch a movie that's set in the Revolutionary War and just never read about the Revolutionary War. Like, that's on you. You should educate yourself. Don't just rely on movies to tell you everything about the world.
I don't know. I learned a lot of history from Star Wars. That happened a long, long time ago, right?
And far, far away.
Far, far away.
There's no one who can disprove that.
Honestly.
If there really are infinite universes, it stands to reason that there is a universe where that is reality.
I got to check my midichlorian count. I've got to have a couple. Like, there's got to be a test
This is the
out
most
there.
hated thing in Star Wars.
I know.
Right? Some of the choices for some movies, I can't think of any examples offhand, but sometimes they have changed things, and I just look at that and go, that was a studio note.
Christopher Rabbit.
Because there's sometimes they'll tweak something, and you can tell it doesn't add to the story, and it doesn't make sense, but it's very pandering. Like, you can tell that it's someone very disconnected from the project. Mm-hmm. They made a call of like, yeah, we need to add in a cartoon animal into this so that we get the kids coming out to watch it. And you're like, this is a movie about the Holocaust. Like,
kids are going to see this.
Look, if we're funding this, you're going to do what you're told. Like, and then weird things like that happen. But yeah, okay, so that's historical stuff. Going back to things that are based off of books, like the Harry Potter movies, or the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, like the Chronicles of Narnia movies, or comic book movies. I have no problem with these changes, because it's so necessary. And I think the people demanding for things to be dead on to what they expect would actually be very upset if they got that.
Yeah.
I think there's some people who just want to be angry. There's a lot of people in the world.
I don't get those people. Not like the people that just want to be angry, like, I don't get that either. But if they're like, yeah, I've read this comic or this story 100 times, I'm going to go see the movie. It's like, why would you want to see... Like, why would you be upset that it's literally not line by line what you already know? Throw a curveball.
Yeah.
Like, maybe halfway through, go be like, oh, wait, where are we going? That's different. That is totally different than what I expected.
Yeah.
I'm now fully engaged in this movie because I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
I do too. Like, you take the characters you know and you stay true to them. Like, you make a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And you have him still be Spider-Man. You don't just suddenly like, oh, yeah, he's Spider-Man, but he's like addicted to drugs. Like, we want to make it edgy. It's like, that's not who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
It's just not. But you can take him and have like, Doc Ock is like, instead of like some teacher or something, he's like a classmate of his that like goes off to college. Like, okay, we're putting a new spin on this.
Yeah.
That's fine, because as long as the characters are somewhat true to who they are, you can make those changes. You can switch the time, place, like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Like, they pull in all different versions of him.
Doc Ock was a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, sometimes it falls flat just because whatever they end up making just wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's wrong to deviate from the original of something. So that's where I come out on this. I don't think you need to be faithful. I think you should keep in the spirit of the thing that you're making. Mm-hmm. You don't want to, change everything unless it's obviously a shift in something where you're making like Superman, but if he were evil. That's, obviously we're stepping out of the realms. You're not like getting a Superman movie expecting him to be normal and finding that out. Like, if you're setting something up to be different, you can go wild with it. But if you're trying to make something that kind of keeps in the same vein, all you have to do is just, keep in the same spirit of it. But you don't have to be 100% accurate or faithful to whatever the thing was.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, like you said, some movies fall flat. I mean, Garfield, 1, 2, 3. If they're making more.
There's no third one.
There's not a third one?
Not yet.
Oh, well, 1, 2, and the future third one. Yeah, just couldn't pull it off. Couldn't happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like you were saying, you want to keep with the feel of the character, basically. Right. Yeah, if you're going to go see a Spider-Man movie, which, we both love Spider-Man, so I'm going to stick with that. If you go to see a Spider-Man movie, yeah, you can't have them excessively different unless you advertise, like, guys, this is Spider-Man Dark Universe. Right. Like, it's going to be pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But if you go to see Spider-Man, you're like, I'm going to see Spider-Man. But all of a sudden, he's like, like the jock of the school. And he doesn't care. It's like, unless you really advertise this is not the Spider-Man you know and love, you better be ready for some really upset people.
I think we should go ahead and settle this with the universe.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And so I guess you'll say that you should.
Should be faithful to it?
Oh, sorry, should not be faithful to
it. I think you don't need to be beholden to the original of whatever the thing you're making.
All right, and I think you should all be beheld.
Yes. Okay, so have to be faithful to it, don't have to be faithful to it.
Unfaithful.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Boom! You have to be faithful.
At least for it to succeed.
Yeah.
Like I said, the universe can't control what you do.
Nope.
But I guess you're more likely to fail if you step outside of that. So now we know. And knowing is half the battle.
Go, Joe. All right, Carter, so I got the Would You Rather, and this one is something of a little bit of, kind of like the last topic, contentment, mostly between you and I. Because this one involves preferences between Android and Apple products.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Because you have an Android phone.
I do.
Which you...
Samsung.
Yes, which you love to throw in my face. Not literally.
No. I'm not going to risk breaking it.
But you like to brag about the battery life and the higher quality.
Yes, I do like to hold that over because there's no, like, the S9 Plus, when it came out, was the best camera on the market. I don't know where it stands now compared to the new iPhone. It's probably fallen behind, but that's a new generation of phone.
Yep.
But with that, you could be like, oh, no, I think this looks better. It's like, it is objectively true that iPhones have terrible battery life. iPhone havers and users know that. So it's just really funny to me whenever someone's like real uppity about Apple to just be like, oh, you gotta go plug that thing in that you're bragging about?
I like Apple.
Right.
I will concede that I have to charge my phone all night.
Right.
All right. So it's got to be fully charged in the morning. And then between noon and 2, I have to charge it again.
Just to be clear, this episode was not sponsored by either of them. Our sponsor is Nokia.
Nokia?
Yeah, Nokia. Oh, come on.
Like the camera?
No, like the phone. Do you know, like the indestructible phone from the 90s that you could drop from a 30-story building and it would just crack the concrete?
I've been in an Apple box for about 12 years.
This predates the iPhone.
This
is the kind of thing that like someone in their 30s would be like, you kids wouldn't know about Nokia, but back in my day.
No, I had no Nokia.
This is so shocking.
No. Show my age. I'm too young to know what that phone is.
It doesn't make sense.
So, would you rather
right.
live with only Apple products or Android products? Android/PC.
Right.
Yeah. So Apple or PC, Apple, Android.
Okay. Obviously, I'm going to say Android/PC. Let me lay out my reasons, though.
Okay.
Quickly.
Yeah.
So Android, better battery life. Basically, everything else is at the same level. People like to compare phones and be like, oh, no, this is better, that one's better. Like, it's totally different, man. Like, it's like you have a different operating system that does and accomplishes the exact same things. Not a huge difference as far as that goes. I'm used to Android, so as far as the layout of everything on my phone, it's easier for me to pick up another Android and know what to do versus going to an iPhone and it's like, well, I'm supposed to swipe up. No, it's down on this one and then like across for that. Like I get confused because it's very different layout from it. But
on the iPhone, you gotta
do the benediction. And Apple we trust.
Oh, iPhone.
Oh, what's the thing? It's like I can never remember. It's like down and then across or something. I don't know.
And then you lick your finger.
Right. And then downsides of an Apple product, though. You have to buy an adapter for freaking everything.
That's true.
Like, it's so stupid. And it's obviously just money grabbing. Like, there's no design benefits to adding extra components to something to do something basic. It's just a way to like, well, we sell this and you got to buy these 30 other things to accomplish that one task. So I don't like that. I don't like the battery life. And then as far as PC versus Mac goes, PC is way more customizable. Like you could switch out components. Macs tend to design their computers, or Apple tends to design their computers to where you can only take it to an Apple technician. No one else can access it. No one else can open it. I just think that whole closed system thing, I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather be able to make decisions for myself.
Ooh, ouch. All right, I will rebuttal with Android sounds good.
Right?
Yeah, PC. I would. I bought a new computer when we started the show for editing. We bought a new computer, and I really weighed all the options, and I realized I wanted to spend $1,000 less and have the option to upgrade my computer with new software or hardware. And so I went with a PC. Even though I have an iPhone, I love the iPhone. I would learn and adapt to whatever else I need to for only living with this thing.
Yeah.
Because that would be very expensive.
Yep.
So, we both go with Androids.
There you have it, folks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So today we learned that you should stick with source materials.
Yes.
All right. But, we're going to do what we want anyway.
Right. Keep it faithful and you'll be successful. Doesn't rhyme, but it's good advice.
All the time.
Sure.
And if you forgot from 30 seconds ago, we're going to both do Android PCs.
Right. Well, if you're watching this on an iPhone, you might have had to go plug in your phone in those last 30 seconds and turn it back on, so you've already forgotten what we were talking about.
The odds are higher.
Right.
If you have an iPhone, that would happen.
So if you guys like this episode, there are a lot more out there. We would love for you to go check them out, whether you're watching it on an iPhone or an Android. We love all people. We just make fun of some of you more. But we would like you to check out that, so go give it a lookin'.
Yeah. Give it a lookin'. But in the meantime, remember to comment, like, and there's a little subscribe button hovering right there. You should go click that.
And leave your phone in your pocket when washing your clothes to get it extra clean.
Ring the notification bell.
If you hate subtitles, just read the book the movie's based on at the same time.
And if you find a movie that you really hate, tell all your friends. Misery loves company.
Yes, it does.
And as always, IKAGA.
Yep.
Yay!